Welcome to Hear Me Out and Pass the Scissors, a podcast where two long-distance scrapbooking friends talk creativity, chaos, and cutting things up on purpose. I'm Lisa from Life and Layouts on YouTube.
And I'm Nicole from ColieBing. Whether you're scrapbooking at your desk, your kitchen table, or just in your head, grab your scissors and hear us out.
So hear me out. Let's watch our very first process video.
No. Okay, you mean the ones we swore we'd never rewatch, the shaky cameras, the awkward pauses, the questionable paper choices, those?
Exactly those. Before we hit record on this podcast, we each watched the other's first video and took notes. And here's the catch. We didn't tell each other a single thing.
So now you get to hear our unfiltered reactions, the good, the bad, and the full body cringe.
We'll talk about what made us laugh, what made us say, what was she thinking, and how far we've come since those early days.
Because if there's one takeaway, it's this. Everybody starts somewhere, and sometimes the cringe is just proof of growth.
So grab your scissors
and hear us out.
You said you wanted to go first.
Yes. Look at it. Look at it. Isn't it glorious? It's beautiful.
That is a lot of notes.
Listen, it's really not. It's literally like some it's arrows in some instances.
I feel like mine were very bullet points that I was like, I'm gonna remember this. So I might come up and be like, I don't know what I was thinking there.
Yeah, that was kind of my thing. Was I watched like all but like 20 seconds of it last night, and then I got interrupted by a kid, so I had to go back and watch. Like, I just rewatched the last minute before we got on here. Like, initial impressions, like I knew going into it, because we've had this discussion before. Like, you researched and you were like, you were hitting the streets in a car. And I was like, of course this person has a cinematic intro. Like, I literally paused it and I was like, okay. Like, I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was.
That was one of the things that I think I mentioned before, too, is that my ex was very adamant that if you start this, you have to have an intro. And I wanted to mention this last time we met, but I totally forgot about it. When I first made my intro, I was very inspired by Nicole Jones 911. And my intro looked very similar to hers. And I showed it to him and he was like, no.
Oh, I don't even remember what that looked like. I feel like now I'm gonna have to go back and look.
It's like it was yellow, and then it had like two borders around, like a sketched border around it, and then it just said Nicole Jones 911.
Interesting.
It was very simple, and he was like, "No, you can't." Like, I had changed the color and I had changed a lot of stuff. Like, you could see where I had taken inspiration from her, and he was like, and then he's the one that went over to Fiverr and was like, "You need a logo and an intro." We didn't do outros at first, but the intro was, he was like, you have to do that. So he paid for all of it.
So I think, okay, so I don't know if you can tell. So on my notes, I had like two sections, and one was like the content in the video, and then one was like the scrapbooking. I had less notes on the scrapbooking. I won't get into that. So I'm probably going to bounce back and forth between. But one of the first things I wrote down was, oh my God, you sound scared and fast. And I was like, I'm like doing the math, and I'm like, she sounds young. Like, I don't know. I was like, I felt bad almost. It wasn't like, I don't know how to explain this. It was still extremely similar to where your videos are now. There wasn't like that big of a difference to me, except for just like small things that I think come with growth and I think come with like maturing in this weird like community.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't write down, I should have given myself better notes. I wrote down that the audio went up and down. And I think that was probably between like where your intro was falling off and your voiceover was coming in. I was like, whoa.
Yes.
I was trying so hard not to be like, come on now.
That was very much, I remember that I had to deal with that water drop thing. That sound was, hated that because I had to wait for it and then I had to fade it out. It was every video I was editing that sound and it was annoying.
And like I wrote that very much you still to this day like the same sketch styles. Your teaching style was present from day one. And to me, it very much still the same scrappy style as far as the things that you like and the things that you use. including techniques like the fun film.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a little giggle because we had recently talked about this. I'm not gonna go into like what the context of the conversation was. It was not a recorded one. Well, you were like, I'm gonna put the sketch on the screen, and it was this little tiny thing stuck in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of made me chuckle because I was like, oh gosh, that's such a baby like YouTuber thing to do when you don't realize that you can like drag it.
Yeah.
Like move it. You just think, oh, it put it there, that's where it goes. I'm gonna feel bad for this one. The camera tilt, I was like, oh, I wonder how long it takes her to like just, it wasn't bad, but it was like enough that you could tell like there was a camera tilt. And I was like, okay. But as like I kept watching, I noticed it less. And then I thought all your ums were very cute. There was many.
There were a lot. Yes, I remember.
And it sounded like you were hiding your accent. I feel like as you've gotten more like confident and comfortable, you are more in like your daily dialect. And it was funny because it was like the beginning and the end, you were kind of a little bit in your head about what you were doing, and you had like that kind of like scared, this is my cute voice going on. And in the middle, you like relaxed and got into it and you were fine, and your accent came in, and I was like, this is so weird. And then I think we had mentioned this last episode. I noticed that either you didn't know how or you didn't care. You didn't cut out like the boring parts.
Yeah, they were
like we saw every single second of you putting that layout together. There were, and because at one point I was like, girl, like you were sorting through something, and I was like, hurry up.
That was, I think, back when I went through this where I had to put everything in there, and then I shortened it down and my videos got to like 6 minutes, and then I felt like I was rushing. And then I finally came to a balance between not including everything and then including, what was needed.
And I wrote that like it was almost like I think I can only tell just because I've been there and I've done it, where you in the moment of doing the voiceover, you realize that there's almost, it's not dead air, it's you like sorting through embellishments, but now you're having to fill the void with voiceover. And it like came across.
Yes. Like, what do I say? And then also in that recording, I think back then I didn't edit as much as I do now. So then it was like, well, what do I say here?
I had overall, I think current Lisa is still rocking baby Lisa style. There's growth with adding things like hybrid, hand stitching, scene building. But your basic style and from layout and video is still there, which I feel like is like crazy amazing to me. And then I had a question for you. When you did that layout, were you a subscriber to those L Studio kits?
Yes.
Okay. And then do you still order from them? Do you still use their kits?
So I don't order from them like monthly anymore, but I shop their like warehouse sales or you know, their sales, because I love their puffy stickers and stars.
Yeah, I have a friend, she lets me know every time there's a sale because I don't want to pay full price for the stamps.
Yes. That too, the stamps.
It sounds bad.
I recently bought like a bunch of date stamps from them when they had a sale. I think probably on National Scrapbook Day or something like that. But they are more based for pocket scrapbooking, which I'm not.
Yeah, because I've ordered the like tile style, like little letter stickers. Usually when they're on sale because they're like $1.
Yeah.
Your journaling was handwritten. When did the switch happen?
I would have to look in my,
why did it happen?
Like in my videos. I think that it's just growth probably. I hate my journal, like handwriting. I hate it. Everything
I'm
about
there with you.
So I think that once I became more comfortable with my computer, I don't know that I had a printer at that time either.
Okay.
And I went to work from home and then got a printer for work purposes. And so then it gave me the opportunity to print stuff for scrapbooking as well.
I also noted towards the end, the audio goes really loud, like during the voiceover. and then it goes really low.
So
And then there was no have a happy scrappy, whatever, like the thing, the
have a
tagline.
scrappy day. That
When
came
did the tagline come?
like 3 videos in. It came pretty early. Yeah,
Oh,
but it wasn't in the first one. But it was very early on. So I can tell you exactly the why, and I learned this later on. I have to import the intro and outro, and I didn't know that they had audio, and I put that in quotation marks because they didn't. But because they had the audio there, which was a blank audio, that audio went first, and then my audio went underneath it. So it lowered my volume. So now I remove the audio, even though there's no audio there, and that keeps a even tone between my voiceovers.
are you still using the same editing software?
I've used iMovie from day one.
Good
So
for you.
I've upgraded my like iPad to newer versions, but I still use iMovie.
I did wonder if, like, right towards the beginning, you were cutting strips of like a printed wonky border to go across the top.
Yeah.
They were not the same tone. They were different tones of the same color. And I feel like current day Lisa could never have allowed that to happen. So part of me was like, is she okay?
It was one of those things that I was trying to use the kit as it was. And back then, again, being out in the streets, I was trying to get the attention of El Studio.
Yeah, I feel like you did a good job of doing the thing where like you say like the product's name or the name of the paper, like the color.
Because I was like, I want to be on a design team. Which is 180 from, or I guess 90 degrees from what I am now. Cause I'm like,
everybody learns different things when they're in the streets.
So I was pushing it. Because when I started it, I think I was still an investigator when I started I think I actually was transitioning from investigations to like my training job that I have now. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to be in this field, and I want to scrapbook forever.
I did notice even back then, you still had like a segue or like a side. And I think it was during where you were trying to like fill in space. Like, I think you could realize that it was going to take you a while to get those embellishments sorted. And you talked about the photos for a minute, and you like talked about like the story for a minute. So that's been there since day one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can get 2/3 of the way through a video before I'm like, by the way,
this is what these photos are about. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like it's almost unfair to ask you, like, what have you learned about filming and editing and storytelling if your first video is still it's like 80% of where you're at now. Like, there's not a ton of differences outside of like technical tweaking.
Yeah. Because I did all that research before I started. So now it's just perfected my craft, I think.
For sure.
But I feel like it's one of those things that I don't do anything halfway.
Here's the thing. Okay, let me ask you this. If baby Lisa, let's say your first 10 videos, you know, you're learning that first video, you're like, not a single cut to have been made. I don't know how many cuts you had in your audio. Was your audio a raw dog one through?
No, there was some. Yeah, no, I always edited my audio.
Okay, so it's just the video that we're not clipping.
Mm-hmm.
So like in your first, you know, handful of videos, if you had glued your paper to the mat, would you have completely cut that out and like never have mentioned it? So it's only in the current era where you're just showing more of personality behind the scenes and of the layout. And
I don't know when it happened. I would say probably 2 years ago, because it was before my break. I left something in, and it was one of those times where I had accidentally left it in the video, and I didn't realize it until I was recording the audio. And I was just like, whatever, I'm just going to talk about it. And
I was going to say, because I feel like after you came back, I remember having a conversation with you because you were like, you know, how detailed you start cutting stuff. And I was like, listen, I will tell you right now, if you leave those mistakes in there, and then you show people how you got yourself out of that mistake and fixed it, it offers up an opportunity for commenting and engagement.
And so today that we were recording this, which is August 20th, is the 1-year anniversary of my Facebook group. Super exciting.
Congratulations. I saw it this morning and I was like, I don't even know my anniversary.
Well, in Facebook, messaged me and told me that it was my anniversary.
Well, it messaged you about my membership thing, and I never got it.
I don't know why it does that either. I don't know. But what was I going to say? Oh, it's 1 year anniversary from the day I created the group. I didn't open the group until I posted the video, which was like 5 days later. And then like 12 hours later after I posted the video, because then I had a, panic attack and didn't want to let it go.
I was going to say that was a whole, like, you broke my brain in that moment, because I'm like, I'm confused. Like, you were all pumped to start this group. Like, you saw like how when I started mine, it's easier to like talk to people. It's easier to like link stuff. And I'm like, yeah, let people in. And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? You're showing like all your business on not only scrapbook layouts, but videos, and then talking about it. And what's left?
It was just, I don't know. I think the meme that I sent you was Sheldon sitting on the couch with his bag.
Yeah, but I'm like, to me, groups are super secure.
Yeah.
You got rules, you got moderators, you got the ability to be like, that was mean, you're gone.
Yeah.
It blew my mind, as out there as you are, for you to just all of a sudden you were like, I don't know about this. And I was like,
it's too late.
If you don't move, I'm going to hit the button. Like,
so I say that because I posted in the Facebook group, and the comments that I got, because I think the question I asked was something like, what made you join the group, and why are you still here?
Mm-hmm.
And there are a ton of sweet comments in there, and it's,
yeah, I saw it like 15 minutes after you posted it, and nobody had commented yet. And I was like, wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But there are a lot of sweet comments in there, and I'm very
of course there are.
proud of that.
We didn't even talk about what your layout was.
Oh, okay.
So, of course, the layout, double page layout, wallpaper style sketch, photos centered to the margin, very linear, very 3 clusters, large elements, and then full-size photos. And the theme, it was a wine tasting, right?
Yeah.
Vineyard or something,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was unique, because I feel like current day Lisa would have never used like an everyday, basic looking, whimsical style thing for something that's like more serious and almost like vintage feeling of a wine tasting. So that was like super fun to see, because I feel like now you would have gone and found something that was like wine colored or had like some sort of grape imagery. Like, there would have been something going on.
Yeah. I'm very themey. I feel like that's style.
What made you pick?
I think it was I was pushing the L Studio stuff, and I was like, this,
even though it didn't match.
And it looks really good. It's one of those that is one of my favorite layouts. I love that layout.
Yeah, it was a very on brand.
Yeah. So, and I think it was even back then, because I haven't watched the video, and it's been a while since I've seen it. But even back then, I remember taking photos of things there because I knew that I needed to have those for scrapbooking. Like, now I kind of pull photos from the internet, like stock photos. But I want to say there was like a wine sign or an apple sign or something that was just like a scenery sign that I took with the mountains in the background, if I remember correctly. So even back then, I was filling with stock photos that I actually took.
I don't think I noticed that.
Because that's definitely my style as well. All right, are you ready for yours?
I mean, no, I'm still a little bit hurt about yesterday.
Which would have been 2 weeks ago for everybody else.
You also have to remember, I didn't have a boyfriend telling me to make an intro. I had no background in editing stuff. Like, I had taken many courses on YouTube University to self-teach myself many, many things at that point. I was alone.
So I'm going to start out with baby Nicole and current Nicole, and how the two of you are exactly the same. Okay.
All right. Be nice.
Yeah.
Be nice.
You used B-side paper, which is like, absolutely. You used a kit that I wouldn't have used because it was a winter kit, and you used the B-sides and you made it work for photos she was visiting, the the aunt was visiting like during December or during the winter months, even though you don't have snow, you still made it work. And I feel like you do that now as well. It gave me creating with collection vibes. I was like,
Oh,
like
I'm trying to think of what it's
is it
I
Cosmo?
think it was great.
Oh,
It was
it was
crepe
Scrape
paper
Paper.
or Cosmo, yeah, but I don't know why I had it.
It was a kit. What you had said was I don't know if you were a kit member or if you had purchased just that kit, but it was a kit that you had. And it came with the frames, a full sheet of Polaroid frames that you cut apart, which was my next.
There's two distinct memories I have with that video, and I'm gonna wait until you get done to see if you picked up on them.
So the B-side paper was absolutely still Nicole today. The full-size photos was something that I was like, oh, like she's using full 4x6 photos. And you said that you love full 4x6 photos. I was like, oh, if she could only work it out. And then the other thing, you cut apart the frames. There was a whole sheet of Polaroid frames, and you cut them apart. And I think you ended up using 4 on your layout. So you had a cluster of 3, and then you had one additional one. And before you started working through it, I was like, she's gonna do dickers. She's gonna do her dickers with those frames. And you didn't, but you still decorated them. Like you took them in a way that I hate using Polaroids. I hate using frames because I can't figure out how to do it. But that technique that you
there is. I remember my early days. I would change things to make me like them better.
Mm-hmm. You also said, and I wrote it down, I love inking. I ink everything. I don't know why, and I just need to get used to not inking, but I don't know if I ever could. I was like, what? I don't think I've ever seen you ink on anything. But you inked every piece of paper, every embellishment, everything you put on that paper had ink on it. And it wasn't just...
I almost did it today.
I don't think I've seen you ink.
I can't remember the last time I did it. But yeah, it was... I learned it at my local scrapbook store classes. Tone on tone ink edging. Had me in a chokehold for a long time.
I mean, I still ink on some of my edges. I honestly just forget about it from now.
And you're telling me you've never seen this video?
I've never seen this video. No, this was the first time.
Oh my God.
So I also realized that I was like, I want to know when you started editing your photos, because those photos, maybe it was the lighting on the video, because the video was really dark. I could tell that you didn't have whatever lighting you have now, but it also made your photos really dark. So I'm like, is it the lighting that making the photo darks, or was it you weren't Lightrooming your photos because they were dark?
Both. I don't Lightroom my photos. I don't. The only photos okay, you already get shocked. The only photos I actually like brighten are the photos of my projects, not the photos of the people.
So you just got better with your camera.
I'm trying to think. That more than likely, yeah, I 100% got better shooting on manual mode. Also, my grandparents' house was like a dungeon. There just was not a lot of light in there. And then you have to figure, I think they were sitting in front of the one window and I was on the other side. So I was shooting into the window.
Okay. Yeah.
That's like a no-no.
So many things we've learned.
Yes.
All right. Are you ready to hear my cringy moment?
I mean, are we talking editing or the video or the layout?
Oh, no, we're talking baby Nicole issues.
Okay.
If for video was a drinking game, I would have taken 7 shots for the times that you said, I really like this. This is really, really pretty. This is I started counting them 7 times. You said, really. Like super.
It's been replaced with kind of. Stop it. You know what? You said like 27 times.
We absolutely should do a drinking game with both of those, and we would be on the floor with the shots. The amount of shots we have to take. With my and your.
It could be fun to simultaneously watch an old video together.
Yes. And then the other thing at and I wrote it down at minute 13:21. Your video is a little over 20 minutes long. At 13:21, I was like, she's done, because you said, I'm gonna have the Polaroid frame just stack it right there. I was like, she's so over this voiceover. She's just done with it. Like, I could tell that you were like, I don't know what else to say. I don't know how to fill this time. Kind of similar to what mine were, but I worked.
It was the voiceover crash out. You had it too, where you're looking at how much time you have left, and you're like, "Good God, what do I
I've
say?"
been talking for 13 minutes. Like, what do I do? I really love that you mixed fonts. You used all stickers, but I could see that style now. You do it with stickers.
I love typography, everything.
Yes. Oh, I did have a question. You mentioned December Daily several times. Did you complete that December Daily?
I made the cover. It's really cute.
I will tell you that I did the same thing, and I had a Simple Stories kit that was December Daily, so I had the instructions.
No, I can picture it. It's so cute. It even has the little deer from the October Afternoon Christmas collection. It's still somewhere in here. I just realized I mixed mine, and I just realized you're only talking about the layout. We haven't even gotten to the editing.
No, we haven't gotten there yet. So let's get into the editing. I realized that you did not remove the audio from your video.
I have done that a couple times.
And I didn't realize it until about halfway through. Your border punch, I don't know why, but it is so loud. I was like, every time you punch, I was like, holy,
like gunshots. It was either squiggly TV in the background, scratchy paper sped up, or like boom, 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 boom.
Yes. And then there was also a time, I didn't write the timing down, but there was also a time where something happened in your house, and then you were distracted, and there was a harsh cut in the video, in the audio, everything. There was a harsh cut, and then you came back and you were like, I'm sorry about that, and just went on with it. I was like,
raw dog the rest of it.
I was like, what happened?
You have to realize at that time, I have a barely walking 1-year-old and not quite a 3-year-old in an open plan one-story house. I probably got hit in the back of the head with a flying truck.
And then when you came back, there was static. I don't know where the static came from, or like there was static in your audio.
You know what it probably was? Okay. Do you remember when you used to buy a PC, it would have the monitor, it would have the tower, the keyboard, the mouse, you might have gotten some speakers, and then you had like that bendy stick microphone?
Yes.
Just picture that. That was me. I probably bumped it.
Probably as you were recording, because it stopped after a little bit. It was just a little bit. And then the last thing that I have to say is, no, I don't. There's more. You also, this is a good one. You also printed your journaling. Even back then, you printed it on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So did you have the boyfriend back then?
No, I used like a $60 home printer. In fact, there was, I would say, not long after that, I got on the 3 Scrappy Boys design team, and it was kind of like a smaller homegrown version of like a Hip Kid or I can't remember all the kids that were out back then. They sent us, I don't even know the brand. They were craft journaling spot tags, and they had white printed like scallopy borders. And I did a anniversary layout, and I printed different things about our relationship on each of them and lined them up on the thing. It had a whole tutorial on how I did it. Recording myself touching the monitor as a light box. Like, I very long ago figured out how to run stuff through my printer, and it goes back to, I learned a lot of stuff from Nicole McGork from her 2Ps videos. And there was a couple other people that were doing like printed stuff. So I learned how to print it and then put whatever you wanted it to eventually be on top of that and get it to go back through your printer. There was not going to be any handwriting happening.
Yeah, so that was a baby Nicole and current Nicole absolute Same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my very last thing that I want to say is you have no outro, which is cool. Like you were out in the street, you didn't know. But like, not only do you not have an outro, it cuts mid-sentence. Like it's not even like, no, like here's my finished layout, here's some close-ups, nothing. It is just, you didn't even say goodbye. I mean, middle of the sentence, it cut. Like to the point that I was like, oh wait, I had to like rewind it. Like, oh no, it really did cut.
I don't remember that. The only two things I remember was, were you not impressed with that I used the 2 flares to make a snowman?
Oh, that snowman was so stinking cute.
I loved him. I can still remember doing that and being like,
yes.
Yeah. Okay, what is your impression if I tell you now that video was created to not only apply to a design team, but I was accepted to Nuts About Sketches because I used a Nuts About Sketches in that, I believe. So it has been a long-standing history with me to show people of importance, not professional grade anything, and then being like, kind of like her.
I do feel like for Nuts About Sketches, because her sketches are hand-drawn, and it's what I love about it. I feel like she is just a designer, and she just sits down and creates these things. So I can see where she saw your layouts and was like, yes, absolutely. Because what you did with that sketch was pretty impressive. The video stuff, I feel like it's one of those things where you're like, I'm going to hire her because I can teach her editing and video stuff.
Videos weren't even part of the thing because it was a blog.
Okay. So even so, like, she's like, I see how she could see the interpretation from her sketch to your layout and how it was an amazing interpretation, and the video didn't matter. But it's also like, why when I'm doing hiring and stuff like that, there's times where I'm like, I don't like that, but I can teach you that. I like this part and I can't teach that part, and you've got it. So welcome aboard. And I could see that in the video. But yeah.
So can you appreciate my growth now?
I do. I think that.
I told you, I fought for everything I learned. Like, it took me a while to realize that there was still audio attached to some of those. Because if there wasn't like a TV playing or there wasn't loud enough noise for me to hear it, once I sped it up, I didn't realize it was there.
So you're saying that there are more videos of your very loud punches.
Sure. And I guaranteed there was probably not a transition in sight. Did I even have photos at the end?
No, it literally cut off in the middle of the sentence. No photo. I did have that note that there were some hard transitions. It was literally like, click the video off, click the video on.
It's just putting one clip next to the other.
Yeah.
There was no, listen, I didn't know. I was using Windows Movie Maker because it came with my PC and my little bendy mic.
And your little big tower computer, yeah.
Yeah. I told you, I learned everything by myself.
It's amazing to see the difference in where we first started. And you've been around a lot longer than I have, right? So you've got 7 years on me, I think is what we figured out. Or 5 years on me.
5.
Yeah, 5 years on me. You're so far ahead of me, which is pretty awesome because
you would think I would be more experienced or educated or something. You know what I mean? It takes me longer. It takes me longer to learn.
What I was going to say is you're so far ahead of me, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but you've started so far behind me as well. Like, your first video was so far behind where my first video was, and you're still extremely far in advance of me, even though you have 5 years on me.
I'm still making terrible editing mistakes, though.
I think that sometimes is it really a mistake, or is it just whatever? I'm done editing. I just want to get this video up.
Yeah, sometimes it's that.
Because there's times where I'm just like, no, it's just gonna have that, and I'm just gonna move forward with it.
That was rough. Let's never do that again.
So going back and watching our videos and having amazing laughs about it. If somebody was to start a channel today, do you have any like takeaways for them or any advice that you would want to say to them?
I don't even know, because I feel like we've basically just given two examples of somebody literally slapping stuff together and then somebody going like aggressively hard with like the research, and we're pretty much kind of at the same point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like we both have almost identical subscriber counts. I don't know, like 100% there is no right way and there is no wrong way. My advice to people is always record yourself doing something, watch a bunch of videos on editing, try to edit it. If you don't enjoy the process of learning how to do the editing, you're not going to enjoy any of it.
Yes,
If
absolutely.
you don't like learning new tech slowly, might not be it. But then even when you're doing research, you kind of have to remember it's going to be different from, like, I use a camera and a PC and you use like mobile editing and iMovie. Two completely different, experiences there. I usually tell people, like, yes, please. There is enough room in these streets for everybody. And I personally feel like there's a benefit to the uncomfortable, cringy, aggressively embarrassing experience those first 100 videos. And I feel like if you try to cheat that, I feel like you're going to run into a brick wall at some point. And it's because you missed something kind of small and dumb that you would have picked up along the way. I don't know how to word it. There's just everybody's going to learn differently. You're going to pick up different things from people, and you're going to kind of look at other people's videos and say, like, okay, I really like the way that they either edit their videos, or I really like the way that they do their voiceover, or I really like that they don't get personal. It's only about the layout. You kind of have to figure out, like, which way do you lean?
You do you, right?
100,000%.
So my advice would be that everyone has to start somewhere, right? And regardless of whether or not you do a ton of research like me, or whether you throw it up and just do it like you, and you did put a lot of work into it, and I feel like your video, you could tell that there wasn't the research that I put into it, but there was still a lot of research that had gone into it. But you don't have to have perfect videos, because even though I put a ton of work into researching it and you didn't, there were still things that were really bad about both of our videos, because everybody's somewhere.
I don't think yours was that bad.
It's all about growth. And like you said, for those first 100 videos, there's always stuff that happens. I remember one of my videos, I don't remember which one it was, but the audio, I think I tried something new and the audio is like high pitched, like squeaky. It's bad. There's a ton of comments on it that says, I don't know what's going on with your audio. And I was like, I don't know either.
Yeah, I had a chunk of videos where I couldn't get my little bendy mic to work. So I would record on my phone and then have to send the files to my computer through like email or something. I don't even know. And then figured out how to add those. So it was like a whole other learning experience, because up until then I had been directly recording into the software. So I had to learn how to get two separate files like stacked on top of each other, because I didn't know that was a thing either.
Mm-hmm.
When I learned that you could put a photo on top of stuff, let alone text, a couple times I had to learn text because I was like, whatever I'm doing on the screen is wrong. Don't do this. And I had to put like a warning. And I had to go look up how to do it.
So that, I think, goes with that growth happens naturally with practice, and practice comes with just putting the videos out there. Because I think I'm at 700 videos. Do you know how many videos are on your channel?
I think that random, like, we were talking about this yesterday, and I got like a random email from YouTube, and they were like, thanks for your 1,300 and something days. And I was like, it's really, I feel like I should be more successful than
I did the math on that too. And I was like, that's not even, like, it's not even 5 years or like 60 months. It came out to like 5.6 something days or something. It was so random. I was like, what? Why?
Yeah, that, and you figure, like, I technically joined YouTube in 2008 because you can't comment if you don't have an account. So technically, like, my account was created in 2008, but I didn't make a video until 2013. So I'm like, which one are we counting here? I'm looking real quick because I think I'm creeping up on 600.
You should have your video count should be like on your.
It's on my page, 584. And I don't know if that counts like shorts or lives or.
I think it only counts actual videos.
Okay.
So I have 718 videos on my channel.
That's insane. See, that's what I'm saying. I've been at this longer and I've done less.
So, and then going back to what you were saying about the fact that your channel started in 2008, you didn't start creating until 2013. I have another YouTube channel that was my comment channel before. When I created my channel, I created a new channel under the lifeandlayout@gmail.com. And so my channel anniversary date is the same.
I was not smart enough to separate things like Facebook profiles and YouTube accounts. I wish I had.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like it happens every December. I question myself on if I should rebrand my YouTube name, but then I feel like it gets confusing because for 10 years there's Facebook comments of people recommending the channel ColieBing, and I feel like I feel like it's too late now.
You're too far in. You're too far in.
We're committed. And I picked it because at the time, like half the people had like their first and last names, and then like half the people had like you didn't know who they were in the real world. And coming out of working for the government, I was like, I don't know that I really want my first and last name out here. And I had heard some scary stuff about some other channels, and I was like, okay, let's just kind of like throw this up and we'll see what happens.
All right. So with that, our next episode is going to be about taking this hobby into a side hustle. So we're going to talk about all the things that we do to make money, which it is not by any means a income driven. Either one of us are quitting our day jobs or being able to support our family with this.
Absolutely not.
But it is nice to have. For me, I use mine to buy all my supplies. When there's new things that come out, I use what I make from this to buy that. And then Nicole's over there getting, all the stuff from all these amazing companies as well.
Listen, I didn't know that was going to happen.
So next time we're going to talk about taking this hobby and making it a side hustle, because it's definitely not a full-time hustle. So make sure you join us coming soon for our next episode.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us. If you like this episode, make sure you follow the show so you don't miss what's coming next.
We're so glad you joined us today, whether you were gluing, cutting, or just avoiding your photo backlog.
Until next time,
pass the scissors.